Section Boyz.
Whoa! Massive big up to Section Boyz who brought their own trap-infused flavour to the grime rap scene, and we absolutely love it.
Road get lock off. What? Shut down lock off. What? Everything lock off. Man, a big man thing. What you know about lock off? What? Everything lock off.
We wouldn't be here right now. Honestly, like, it is love from, see my left chest, right in between the lungs. My heart is where you lot lie.
Hey guys, it's Murali. Hopefully you guys are doing well today and having a great week. Now this particular video was requested due to high demand, so I thought I would do a particular video on the rise and the fall of the Section Boyz. Now before we get into this video, again, definitely follow me on Instagram, Murali_Murali. Type my name in, follow me, I would appreciate it, and click that subscribe button. Just click that button. It's one click for consistent content every single day. Now before we get into this video, I think everybody knows of the Section Boyz, who are based in South London, Croydon to be exact. And obviously because of their location, they do have a good and positive affiliation with a number of several artists in South London, such as Stormzy, Krypton Conan. There are quite a few members of the Section Boyz, especially on the UFO Sound Radio, and Drake himself offered lots of support, especially on social media, from posting images of the lyrics, to posting their images, to showing up through their gigs and stuff. And we already know that Drake definitely has an affiliation with, and just a link with the UK artists. You know, an example is J House recently when he brought him out, and it's been going on throughout. So it's not surprising that back in 2014, 2015, he had an affiliation with the Section Boyz. It was 2015, however, which was the peak year. They were handed their first ever MOBA award for the best newcomer in November 2015. They beat strong competition from people like Bugsy Malone, George the Poet, and etc, etc. The MOBAs commended their group for influencing UK music with their signature trap sound, earning the attention of Drake and really being the forefathers and the groundwork for drill music. The Section Boyz most definitely were. Even Rita Ora, you know, confirmed that Section Boyz will be on her new album, and they collaborate together for an energetic performance of Trapping Ain't Dead on the MOBAs. And really one wants to know, how did they even come about? How did they even have their big break? Although Section Boyz have been releasing music for a very long time, it was their standout section only mixtape that they released in 2014, which obviously spawned the massive popular song called Lock Off. It was heavily championed amongst everybody under the hip-hop, grind, drill scene, and there were a plethora of hits that followed afterwards, Trapping Ain't Dead and Who Needs a Hook. But these particular 3-4 songs from their first section only mixtape were absolutely massive. They were groundbreaking, everybody loved them. They were playing in clubs, playing in house parties, just playing in the cars, everywhere. Section Boyz were the boys that everybody just loved. This particular notorious group from South London, Croydon, with these songs, this new trap sound, this drill kind of music, day after day coming out with these new songs, their mixtape, it was just pure fire, getting the attention of Drake. They were everywhere. And then they released their debut album, Don't Panic, in 2015. After so much media support from Drake, Skepta, Stormzy, they released their album on the 18th of September 2015. And despite the project dropping independently, it still earned a top 40 album chart. Now, for those who don't know, releasing independently is very difficult and can be very hard. But if you have the media attention, if you have the attention of the audience, it can happen in a very efficient manner. And the fact that they were obviously reaching the top 40 is a direct example of this. They were clearly paramount to the groundworks of drill music and helped create a massive wave battle. And he goes on to say, Sleeks, someone kind of close to us registered the IPO of Section Boyz. And we just registered a trademark, and obviously that weren't enough to keep our things going. IPO gives you a better leg to stand on in the legal world. For those who may not know, the definition of an IPO is the initial public offering, is the process by which a private company can go public by sales of its stock to general public. After IPO, the company's shares are traded in an open market. Those shares can be further sold by investors through secondary market trading. So trademarking the name legally isn't as strong as having an IPO upon it. At this point, they were going back and forth during an intense legal battle because of the Section Boyz name having an IPO, and they attempted to trademark it. And whilst they were going back and forth, people were beginning to forget who they were, and there were a plethora of artists who were somewhat replicating their sound, even other artists coming out with different sound, different popular music, and Section Boyz was soon becoming a thing of the past. And because of this, this is what slowly led to their downfall. 2014 and 15 were the peak of their careers. They had 6 great members. One obviously had to leave. MOBA awards for the brand newcomer, collaborations with Rita Ora. You had the interest of Drake, Stormzy, Krypton Conan. Everybody was loving this new sound. They were loving the new mixtape. They were loving the new album, Don't Panic, that was released in 2015. However, the legal battles really put a break on their career, because at one point it did really seem that nothing could stop them, but unfortunately that was definitely not the case, and the legal battle really put them and stopped them in their tracks for a very long time. However, they are not completely disappeared, and they haven't completely gone. With such a long break without anything released, there were several claims that the group have fell off or even parted ways from each other. But Swift believes the current state of UK rap makes them more relevant than ever. He states that we're still here. Everyone sounds like us. We ain't been rapping for long and we're still here. You lot hear us every day. Now, Don't Panic 2 obviously was successful, but wasn't as successful as their first debut album. And unfortunately, there have been a lot of artists from the time that they took their hiatus to now that have really swallowed up and taken their places in the London music scene. Now, the Section Boyz will never be forgotten. They were the paramount groundworks for drill music. The initial mixtape and the particular album, Don't Panic, the first one was obviously amazing, and the tracks can still be played to this day and people will still dance to them and love them. However, at the same time, their legal battle was definitely a focal point for the downfall of Section Boyz. They have come back as a Smoke Boys, and the word smoke is very fitting because that is exactly what they have turned into. Smoke. A bit of an unfortunate shame because there was so much going on for them, and it looked at a point that nothing could stop them. They came up with the right tracks, they had the right collaborations, they had Drake, the US support, who was massive at the time and still is, but unfortunately legal battles can put a hold on artists and can really just keep them stagnant and freeze them, which does happen and occur with a lot of different people, and happening with Section Boyz was just another example. Now, I do feel like this was definitely the main focal point for why they definitely fell. They are still around. They have released, more mixtapes. They haven't completely disappeared. They are still releasing music. But at the end of the day, irrespective of them still releasing music, the hype around them has unfortunately gone and cannot be compared to their debut. They still don't have that, massive, they haven't created a Lock Off 2.0 kind of track from their new album. Nothing major has spawned from it, and this could be because not only did they disappear, but other people have kind of taken their place and swallowed them around, because drill music now is everywhere. But at the end of the day, nobody can say and deny that they didn't have an impact. They definitely did. They helped with a new sound. Their tracks were amazing and still relevant today and still can be played today. But at the end of the day, they have unfortunately, I believe, fallen off. And I do feel like several people would definitely believe so. The Section Boyz, do let me know what you guys think of this small mini documentary that I have made. Do you guys agree with me, or do you guys completely disagree? Or do you guys like the new music that they're putting out? Do you believe they still have the same hype as when they first came out, which I don't think is obviously happening? Be sure to follow me on my Instagram, Murad_Morali. Definitely click my name in there, type it in and follow me, and click that button, subscribe to my channel, subscribe. I would massively appreciate it for consistent content every single day. Comment down below and let me know if you guys agree or disagree, or what songs were your favorite, or do you still listen to them? Do you like the name Section Boyz, or do you prefer the new name Smoke Boys? Thank you guys for watching, and I'll definitely catch you guys soon.